It's been pretty solid, pretty mundane, but we
Fairly
take what we
mundane.
get.
Yeah, nothing's been going on in the world. Absolutely nothing.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally. Not like one of the biggest events that happens every 4 years in
No,
America
yeah.
happen.
Absolutely, yeah. It was my short film started. Do you know that?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I did see that. I saw some posts on some Snapchat stories.
Yeah, it was exciting. We began work on our senior thesis film. It's called Reverb. It's about an overworked dancer sort of learning to dance for the right reasons. And we shot the first two scenes on Saturday, right before the whiteout game. So it was a lot of fun.
Oh shit, yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, I saw you were at that, and I also saw your brother was at that.
No, yeah, we it was a very low key set because we were
Hmm.
very fortunate and blessed to have a space reserved for us completely in our control. So there wasn't the stress of a time crunch, and also we didn't have that much coverage to get. But
Yeah.
first,
Who did Penn State play, by the way?
we played the Washington Huskies. We beat them, I want to say 35-6.
Is Washington? Is that the team with like the purple W with like the gold outline?
Yeah, it is. Apparently, they
All
have
right,
two
all right.
mascots. One of them is cool, the other one is gross. That's just the words from my friends, though.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Listen, it could be better than a freaking nut. Imagine having your school be a nut for a mascot. That
Imagine,
sucks.
imagine your mascot being a tree. Sorry, Syracuse.
Oh my gosh. Though Purdue's mascot's pretty cool. I like the train. You ever see them run out onto the
Yeah,
field?
yeah, yeah. The best like I wouldn't say the best mascot, but at least the best like entrance for the mascot's definitely the Oregon Duck coming out on the bike.
Oh my gosh, the duck is so good. I heard his Twitter is also foul. Like he doesn't hold anything
Yeah.
back. Like he's always at your
What
throat.
was it? In one of the like one of the what would it be like the commentator sections where it was like Pat McAfee and a few other guys.
Yeah.
The Duck literally had up a fucking sign of Sydney Sweeney, please text me.
Oh my god, the duck is so down bad. We love the duck.
Oh, also need to mention this for the college football community. R.I.P. to Ben the dog, absolute legend.
Who's been the dog?
He was a dog that basically was like the dog of college football, kind of to like at least the community aspect. This dog like kind of grew up with college football, and he
Ooh,
just
okay.
passed away the other day.
Ah, rip. Yeah.
But
Uh
anyway, let's hop the hell into it. The
yeah.
episode this week, as far as the movie that we reviewed, was called Lawrence of Arabia. This movie is from 1962, I believe.
Yes.
And this is a movie about a British officer who gets relocated to literally the middle of what's the country? Is it Iraq? No, it's not Iraq.
What is the specific country? It's
I
just
guess it's just like the Middle East.
yeah, the Middle East because this takes place during World War One, so it would be the Ottoman Empire.
Yeah, he gets relocated to the Middle East, and he basically his original job is to be a spy and see what the prince is doing, but in reality, he's actually running the fucking stakes, and he's helping with uprisings, liberating areas for the I'm just gonna call them Iraqis or fucking just
For the
something like
different
that. I
tribes, the
can't exactly.
Arabian tribes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Arabians. There we go. But what did you think of this movie, Lucas? Very long film, three hours and 47 minutes.
Yeah, this film is just insane in terms of its length. It's not bad. It's kind of like if you watched a whole miniseries at once. I can definitely see why the film buffs love this one because, I mean, very long shots, lots of quietness, not too much dialogue, and the dialogue that does exist isn't bad. It's pretty realistic, but I would say actually, no. I feel like it's more. It feels more like a play. I got to disagree with that. I don't think the dialogue's realistic. I feel like a lot, especially with Lawrence's dialogue, it feels like he is a protagonist in some sort of classic, like um, just a type of play that you would see up in New York, or any theater really. I feel like the scope of this movie being as long as it is, it kind of emphasizes the scope of where this character is heading. The desert is vast, it is wide, it is open, and the shots not only reflect that, but so does the length of the project.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What were your impressions of Lawrence as a character?
I was kind of surprised at first. I didn't really get the jive he was throwing at me.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand his character too much. But as I watched it more, I was like, this dude really doesn't know what side he wants to play on. Like he wants to be like a hero. He wants to like have his story. I mean, like obviously he does. There's a whole movie about him in this Oh, is this based on a real like
It
event?
is.
Is this like a real? Okay, so this actually did happen.
Yeah, based off a
Okay,
real person.
I was curious on that when watching this because they never said in like the intro like fucking monologue nonsense. They never said like if it was based on true events or not. So and also I didn't do the research on if it was or not.
No, yeah, they
But
also open with his death scene, which I think is hilarious.
yeah, that's what that was. Oh my fucking god! It's crazy that was the first like 5 minutes of the fucking movie. I honestly thought that was someone else entirely
No, they talk
that
about him at the
died.
funeral.
Yeah, I didn't clue in on that. I thought it was some dude that died that he took like his position. Like they were gonna send someone else over to Arabia. We'll just call it for now. And fucking he ended up getting the role for that. Yeah, did not know that. Not gonna lie.
It's kind of like Citizen Kane, where they start the movie off of the ending and then you sort of work backwards.
Yeah. It helps you like understand more about like what went on before then. It's crazy that he died on a bike compared to all things that like he like faced throughout the movie.
It's also, I feel like, visually symbolic of the sort of difference between the life that he lived and the life that he lived during this time of his life, which that's just a redundant statement. But when he's out in the desert, you have this big, wide, open cavern. He's on this camel and you're traveling, at animal speed. Whereas, he gets killed by traveling through the very green and narrow, sort of claustrophobic countryside on a motorcycle, something totally post-industrial revolution, something totally Western.
Yeah, it is ridiculous how he dies like and all the like close to death scenes that he's had throughout the film like a motorcycle is what kills him is kind of like ridiculous to
That
me.
too,
Like
yeah.
he's had guns pointed at his head, knives held to his throat,
Oh my god, yeah.
but like a motorcycle accident is what does it.
I guess
But as
it
far
really
as
does
like
emphasize the point. Like after watching it, that opening scene does just get better the more you think about it.
yeah, but as far as his character goes, it was interesting, like the amount of stuff that he went through, like how he was kind of like the knight in the like white knight in shining armor
Yeah.
for at least like the people of Arabia that like were behind him and whatnot.
At least the imagery
Compared
of him
to
was. He was the idea of it.
yeah. Because I can only imagine like imagine if like he actually like stood through and like went through like the whole process of actually trying to rebuild a whole country to like make it more modernized, at least in that aspect, compared to the stick that he did get given.
Yeah, but then of course, Western interests always supersede because they have the technological advances. So, in the end, France and Britain end up claiming all the land that Lawrence explores and basically tries to give to the Arabian people.
Yeah, and they just rather be worried about their fucking plunder that they get by storming cities than actually rebuilding their country and
N-
making it something better.
No, literally, it's world building. Nation building. It's nation building. What do you think about? Were there any highlights of the adventure that really stood out to you? Because I feel like this film felt a lot like a book. It felt like I was reading something like the Odyssey or the
Yeah,
Iliad.
the moment that really like caught me at least was when he went back to go save the guy that got like left behind.
Yeah, yeah.
And then later down in the film, when he ended up having to execute him for him killing, I forget the dude's name. He was the dude who had the water well with the kid. I can't think of his name for the life of me. God, what the hell was his name? But anyway, that was the scene that like really kind of like threw, I guess, a wrench in things for me because of the fact that like he actually enjoyed doing the execution, which was something that I didn't really think we were gonna get out of his character.
I know that revelation that to me was the most interesting part. I have to agree with that. I enjoyed the scene where, hold on a sec. Let me
I'm
just
holding.
check.
Anything specific you want me to hold on to?
Yeah, hold on to your desk. I'm
I
scanning
thought
this
that was going
Wikipedia.
somewhere.
No. Not that's
I
that's
thought we were
that's on
going
the
somewhere else now.
that's on a different podcast.
Yeah, that's on the rated XL edition.
Yeah. I think it's who's the guy who like shows up and like kills the guy who like brings him out? Is it Ada? Ada Abu Tai? I want to say it's Ada.
What scene are we talking about here?
The scene where he's at the well with that guy, and then the guy comes up and then kills the other guy at the well, but leaves Lawrence there. Oh, I
fucking
found it. I found the name. Okay, I can restart. The scene that I was interested in most, seeing was the one where, uh, forgive me for the mispronunciation, Sharif Ali bin El Karish was he came over and he killed Lawrence's guide Tafas over using the well because there's different conflicts between different tribes, different cultures of the Muslim community in this area. So I remember watching that in class a year ago, and that always just kind of stuck with me as just a fascinating scene, especially with how long it takes Sharif to reach Lawrence.
yeah, you're goddamn right. I really did like the dude's character that you just mentioned, the dude who shot the other guy. I know
Yeah,
I'm
Sharif.
transcribing this horribly because I don't really know names that well.
His name's Sharif.
I really enjoyed his. You know, someone who he reminded me a lot of, surprisingly.
Who?
He reminded me a lot of like kind of like the Lando Calrissian of like this movie
I could
is
see
what he
that.
looked like to me.
Yeah.
And also like as far as like a person goes, he looked very similar to him. Just like I'm just really surprised on the way like this movie went as a whole. I really am.
As far
Surprisingly
as
for this being a 4-hour film, I thought we were gonna get like a lot of drawn out like scenes of just nonsense. We didn't really get that as much. It was kind of just more like seeing like the exploration and would the word be cinematography for like all the different shots of like the location.
yeah, lots of establishing shots, lots of just exploration of the land.
Yeah. Those were all like kind of perfectly like drawn out in my opinion to like their proper length. Only diss I really had with the film. Obviously, I understand it's a 1960s film, but when they were hacking, like when they were charging into battle, and you saw the dudes hacking like down at the people on the ground with swords, just how like fake it looked.
Yeah.
Obviously, I understand 1960s film. You can't exactly really make that look well, but like, God, does it just look so fucking stupid to me?
Yeah, because it's rated G, at least according to the streaming services. It's apparently rated G.
What does that mean? Because I know like rated R.
G means it's for general audiences. So like your average Pixar film, well, yeah, your average like little kid film would be rated G. Pixar, I feel like is
Really,
more
that's the exact same rate. That's wild
because
to
the
me.
rating system was different back then. Like I don't even know if
Ah, yeah,
PG
that's true.
existed yet, and PG-13 was invented because of Ghostbusters. Actually, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Really?
That's a lie. PG-13 was invented because of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Ah, okay, yeah, that makes more sense. That
Yes,
makes a lot more
I
sense.
think
I was like,
Ghostbusters.
fucking Ghostbusters,
Well,
dude.
Ghostbusters has like that one scene with the in the hotel. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, no, I can understand that, but like the rest of the film just would have been like for it being one scene, it would have been a little ridiculous.
yeah, um, yeah. So I have to agree with you. I feel like this movie definitely had sort of it was if a cowboy movie is a western, this is sort of like an eastern. It serves the same purpose. It has sort of the same aesthetic, but it focuses on a different culture. But it has the same narrative beats. I have to
Yeah,
agree.
yeah, definitely.
I feel like Lawrence's decision to go back and save his friend was obviously very noble. His realization that he has to kill his friend, and then his realization that he enjoyed killing his friend, and that sort of escalates into an arc of sort of just being a bloodthirsty conqueror. I really enjoyed that. That to me is sort of the heart of this film. After Lawrence gets kidnapped and he is tortured and presumably raped off scene, and his friend saves him. That's sort of where the film starts to die down. That's sort of when Lawrence realizes, okay, I've been going down this wrong path. I really need to stop. It's sort of like Oppenheimer in a way, where here's this man of great potential who has so much to give the world, but then once he uses too much of his power and it causes widespread destruction, he sort of wants to back off. And he sort of, the very thing that he is good at, he's forced to live with as a curse.
Yeah, I can definitely see that comparison. Absolutely. Now, on to this point. What do we rate the film?
What do you rate it?
I asked you first.
I asked you first. No, it's a lie. Um, I enjoy the film. I don't personally relate to Lawrence's struggle too much because, I mean, I'm not really traveling around and saving people's lives. But I feel like I'm also not the biggest Western fan. So even though this doesn't take place in the West, it kind of has that same sort of Western mentality. I would argue. I know this is a film to respect a lot. As far as like entertainment value goes, I don't think I'm gonna really revisit this one because it is a bit of a chore to get through. And beyond that sort of bloodthirsty killing the person who I saved complex, which is very fascinating. There isn't really much drawing to me beyond that. Like, it is objectively a really well made film. It's also remarkably impressive how they were able to get all their cameras, all their lights, all their microphone out to the desert. That is just, I don't
Yeah,
know how
yeah.
they did that.
I can only imagine the amount of equipment that they went through, like having to record and all that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. From a technical standpoint, it's a masterpiece. It is an absolute masterpiece. As far as the story goes, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I don't think it speaks to me personally, but I can still recognize what it does well. So I'm feeling 3.5 stars out of 5.
3.5. All right, yeah, I respect that. I respect that. I personally give this film a 4, just because there wasn't really much wrong with the film that I can really hate on it. As far as like so like uh, what's the film that I personally hated so far throughout our journey? Probably Akira, simply just because I didn't have fucking subtitles.
Yeah, that was
Because like there were
more.
a lot of
Yeah.
that was more just kind of like on me. But like I don't know, this film didn't really have like a moment I hated, other than obviously when they were swinging at people on horses, because like you can't really make that look well during that time frame. But as far as like the story, the narrative, the characters, I don't know, it had me enticed. It had me enticed. Only thing that kind of actually, I don't know. This is what took off this point for me. The first 6 minutes of this film
Mm.
is nothing. There's nothing going on the screen. It's just blackness. It's just dark screen. It's just the end of The Sopranos.
Is that true, or is that just a weird copy you had? Because I don't remember
No,
that.
no. I went to go look this up. That is intentionally there for a reason.
Oh.
That actually was how it was ran in theaters. The first 6 minutes of the film were just black.
What?
Mm-hmm. That probably just got cut out of there on whatever streaming service you were watching, because they usually do that shit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Was that an artistic choice, or was that
Now,
just a technical failure?
personally, couldn't tell you. I just read about it on the wiki page, and they were like, "Yeah, this is intentionally like that for a reason." Why, they didn't exactly explain on it.
Damn. Okay. So we got a
As far
4.
as where this film goes on the list, where are we putting it?
Well, let's see. So far we have Akira, The Apartment, Singing in the Rain, and Toy Story. So Akira's last, then we have The Apartment, then Singing in the Rain, then it's Toy Story. Oh, okay, it's the same order. Where do you want to put it? What are you thinking?
I mean, personally, as far as like what this film like at least said to me a little bit, I would I would either put it at 2 below Toy Story, or if like you make a push here for why it should be lower, I would at least want to have it above The Apartment and Akiru.
I think it's better than Singing in the Rain. We can put it between that and Toy Story.
All right, good compromise, good compromise.
Sounds good. All right, next week we're going to be reviewing Return of the Jedi. Get your popcorn ready, get your lightsabers ready. It's time.
Oh, wait, it's actually Return. Oh, wait. Yeah, because I've noticed that
It's shifting
for all
around,
our
yeah.
viewers out there, this list changes dramatically.
At least
about
towards the
every
bottom
week
one.
we look at it.
Yeah, every week it's just it doesn't go as planned.
Like the top 10 has stayed about the same, and I think even for the top 30 it has. But as far as like the bottom 20, this shit shifts left and right. Because when I went on it the other day, I think I saw Akiru actually got knocked off the list entirely.
Oh, that's crazy.
And something else got put up. And I was like, Jesus Christ, what are we... at least you took pictures of this entire list before we started.
No, yeah. So it's looking like we're just going to keep rolling with the punches. So up next, Return of the Jedi. You excited to review that one, Marsh?
Of course, of course. That's probably... Yeah, that's the 4th best Star Wars film to ever exist, in my opinion.
Yeah. Better than... I
Because
feel like the ones you like more are the other 2 in the original trilogy and then Revenge of the Sith.
yeah, I mean, like Revenge of the Sith is my goat, but that's just for like different reasons. I know a lot of the film heads like to say Empire Strikes Back is the best for at least like the time being.
That's my
But
favorite.
like when you're looking for a Star Wars film, you want lightsaber fights, and that's what Revenge of the Sith brings best.
True, true. All right. We'll see how those Ewoks do. All right. We'll catch you next week,
Damn
guys.
right we will. Peace out, fellas.